is setting in. Even Barack Obama is worried about the lack of enthusiasm for Kamala Harris.
Hi guys, welcome to Metaphor ReFantazio. It's a new one from Atlas, just come out midnight last night. Based on the previous Persona 3, 4, and 5. Same makers as them as they made this game too, so it's based on the Persona series. That's all I know. I'm going in this blind with no guide because there is no guide.
Think you're a better driver when you're high? Think again. Smoking weed affects reaction time and concentration. A message from Matt Canada. When you get together with friends, remember to ride. Reduce impaired driving everywhere. Because ride starts with you. It starts with a designated driver and in the kitchen when you offer guests non-alcoholic drinks. When you call a friend to come and pick you up. And at the corner when you catch the last bus. In the driveway with a simple keys please, or in the living room when you decide to stay overnight. However you ride, thanks for being good to keep our roads safe. A message from Arrive Alive Drive Sober.
You should tell President Trump in rap speak at this Aurora, Colorado. Today, these gangsters at least physical buildings and articles for taking over identity and Nicaragua. That's in Colorado. At the same time, right, so is in Arizona.
We'll be playing with an Xbox One wired controller and the mouse, whatever it does.
United as one. You know, I was raised to believe that hard work is important. It is important to look out for each other. It is important to understand that the vast majority of us has so much more in common than separates. I was raised in a community of folks who understood that when we stand together, when we look for common, that's when we thrive.
Damn. Pretty harsh. Somebody wants the kingdom, don't ya?
That are trying to divide us as Americans. What happens is cheer us on to fingers out. There's this kind of backward thinking coming from some folks that suggests that the measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you beat down. Instead of what we know, which is the real measure of the strength of a leader is based on who you lift up. That's strength. Because that's what is the perversion of what some people are suggesting. As though it is a sign of weakness. Plus empathy. To have some level of concern and care about the suffering of other people and then take it upon oneself to do something about that. That's about lifting the condition of your fellow human being. So when we think about what's at stake in this election, well, it's packed with some stuff. It's packed with some kindness. Okay, so I'll tell you, I was in the United States and I worked and so I was the family free.
Excellent.
persistence in questioning can be matched by my persistence in answers.
Can it be you dismiss something so far removed from you?
I'd like to take a moment to address my fellow veterans, because I know so many of you have served our country on. All of the benefits that we as a country give you as a veteran, the eligibility for a PA are up to 100% of your home value. You didn't cross your family. All we are USA. With all the life afforded in the PA, we can say yes, and we can say no.
More than
Give us a
something capable of affecting realities beyond its boundaries.
Interesting.
My daughter is being treated for leukemia. I hope that she lives a long, great life. And that she will never forget how it's just taking my baby.
So now the monsters are roaming. No soldiers to stop them. Monsters are nothing. I've certainly been hearing the stories. There's nothing of the ancient throne. There's a storm coming. Mark my words. That much is certain. They're bandits!
Hope that you to give. Give this. I'll send you this same t-shirt.
One and all. All we ask is justice. You're with us or against us? If you're against us,
We didn't know what tomorrow would hold. Thank you. Should we spend tomorrow? Our little girl just
Childhood cancer together. Please donate now.
We started feeding the first dog. He lost so much weight. Pre-portion. It's really easy to keep him lean and healthy. We're waiting as we have told you for the Aurora event. We just saw Vice President Harris in Arizona speaking to a group there about to go to Aurora and what they're going to register to their flag. New details about the African American Party plotting an election day terror attack here in the United States and how they in this country. 27-year-old Nasir Al-Baby arrested Monday in Oklahoma. Investigators say he was planning to target large gatherings of people on election day and to die in that attack. The police say that this is the suspect who's been close to his daughter and another child in this picture about the words and murder that baby had. So investigators stand by for 2 years right up to our first confinement. We're putting live from the North
I said is, I'd be pleased to discuss this issue at a different time.
The outstanding question is whether this man was radicalized before the U.S. government brought him here or afterward. And people should be concerned about that.
Jackie, your persistence in the question, my persistence in answers.
We have those answers from other agencies. Turns out he was initially brought to the U.S. on humanitarian parole by DHS. Less detailed screening there. Soon after he applied for a special immigrant visa with the State Department, stricter process, and was approved for that. At both junctures, he had multiple background checks. Nothing was flagged. But all this follows that DHS Inspector General report that flagged issues with DHS and how they brought Afghans into the country, some of them not being vetted fully. There's a lot of chaos around that moment. Jackie, thank you very much. With that, we're bringing retired Lieutenant General Jack Keane, former Army Chief of Staff, now Chairman of the Institute for the Study of War and Options, Senior Strategic Analyst. General Keane, always good to have you with us. What's your reaction to this story and what Jackie was able to learn about this man?
Okay.
Well, first of all, credit Jackie Heinrich with getting into the details of it. This is how you take something that's very positive and actually turn it into something quite negative. And it's really unfortunate because that could have been prevented. Let's credit the FBI and other government agencies involved in detecting this individual and preventing what could have been a disastrous attack by a radicalized ISIS person, something we haven't had in some time here in the United States. But dealing with the secretary there, I mean, clearly he has information beyond what we know. And he could have easily have provided the basic facts and then said, look, I really don't have the time to get into an in-depth briefing on this, but tomorrow I'll schedule something so we can get into it and take your questions. But here's, let me just give you the broad outline right now, given you asked me the question. That would have been so much better than docking it, as he did, and creating, something of a firestorm. Everyone wondered if you had somebody right into the country, most people would say, well, how do you I mean, that's the first question people ask after they told us that. He may not know all the details and complications until they maybe a little bit more sure of his the basic facts. And if he was working for the CIA as a security guard, and that turned out to be the case, well, he wouldn't be the first person who worked for us and then turned against us. I mean, that's happened throughout our history dealing with people from foreign countries. But the reality is he became radicalized and has happened before. But everybody at the time, remember this, Martha, when we knew almost thousands of Afghans were being taken to a neutral site and they were being vetted over a period of time, everybody in the country was asking questions, well, how thorough are you going to be here? How do you not know that the radicals are mixed in with that group here? That was a basic question that kept being asked over and over again, and we were given lots of assurances that it was a very thorough process. They some answers here, some detailed answers, and it should have been provided today. Some of it yesterday, Jackie, but they got to get into it. How could he learn the issue?
Yeah, well, the Secretary of State was able to answer questions about any of the things that are in personal and
That's not how this country is solved. Now, I was coaching for Tampa Bay Rays in 9/11. We were the first team in the American League to go back in New York and play the Yankees. One of our coaches was Wade Knox. And Wade had a great relationship with a lot of the NYPD guys. And so, ground zero. So eerie. There's still smoldering and just, I mean, you couldn't put in a words to it. And something that obviously I'll never, ever, ever forget. I worked out with when we were there at 9/11. And one of the guys this entire year, 28 guys died. Just didn't pull back. And to have that, and to see what you're facing, and just sacrifice yourself to help others. I mean, you talk about being a teammate. We sit here as a sport and say, good teammates. Those are good teammates. And so I think it's one of the great, great charities that's out there. I want to be a part of this and help as best I can. Let's go. A donation of just $11 a month will go a long way to support our first responders, military families, and our veterans who are in need. These are the heroes of protect and fight for our freedom. Go to t2t.org for more information about what you can do to make a difference.
A large retail store just canceled on huge order, leaving us with a ton of extra My Pillows. But you know what? That's their loss. I'm going to make it your game. For the first time ever, you get standard classic My Pillows for wholesale prices. Only $14.88. I can't believe I'm even saying that. Only $14.88. But it gets even better. For a limited time, I'm going to offer my entire classic collection at wholesale prices. Upgrade to a queen size My Pillow for just $18.88. King size only $1 more. And my body pillows for $29.88. And multi-use My Pillows for only $9.88. So go to mypillow.com or call the number in the screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of wholesale pricing for the first time ever on TV, including my standard size My Pillow, only $14.88. They've never been offered this low before. We have limited quantities at this price, so limits can be 10, and once they're gone, they're gone.
100 Republicans who worked in national security for Presidents Reagan, both Bushes, and President Trump now endorsing Harris for president. Shakira, as a prosecutor, an attorney general, even the Senate, she is the kind of character that's going to be necessary in the presidency.
Vice President Harris is standing in the breach at a critical moment in our nation's history. We have a shared what's right for this country. This year, I am proud asking my vote for Vice President Kamala Harris.
Former generals, Secretary of Defense, Secretary of the Army, Navy, and Air Force, CIA directors, and National Security Council leaders, under Democratic and Republican presidents, Republican members of Congress, and even former Trump administration officials agree there's only one candidate fit to lead our nation, and that's Kamala Harris.
So waiting for former President Trump in Aurora, as we have mentioned. Also, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz echoing Nikki Harris, who said this week she can't think of anything that she would do differently from President Biden in that moment, which is very memorable from the view.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden during the past 4 years?
There is not a thing that comes to mind.
Do you think that Biden's done everything right? Look, I don't know if any of us do everything right, but I can tell you he's done everything in the best interest of the American public.
Okay, let's bring our panel to contact for Fox News contributor and local marshal tax strategist, also Fox News contributor, Rick Tadbrook here. Leslie, why can't they find a good answer to this question? It seems like in all those strategy sessions, you always be able to come up with something.
Well, I think that Governor Walz actually did a very good correct answer and a political comment. That's what politicians do. Look, whether you're running for president of the United States or not, if you You know what, I don't think it's wrong to trash talk your boss, and I think that was the right thing for the vice president to do.
I'm sure that, President Biden, if he really wants her to win, he would be okay with her distancing from him a bit on a couple of things. And, she just said, well, obviously I'm not him. But then no one touches to the next question, which is, well, in what way? Other than the obvious ways, which is immaterial, why are we seeing anybody push for that next level of her answer, Joe?
Because that's what an actual journalist would do in these situations. I mean, it is such an obvious thing. Okay, you wouldn't do anything differently on inflation, for example. You wouldn't rein in spending. You wouldn't do anything differently on anywhere from 12 to 15 million people crossing into this country illegally, including hundreds of terrorists, according to Biden's own Department of Justice or Department of Homeland Security. And the thing is, actually, Biden has not done Kamala Harris any favors when he has now said twice in the last week that they've been singing from the same song sheet and that she was involved.
And the vice president. I might play this to get my things done before we're out of time. This is former President Obama. He's kind of scolding male voters about not backing the vice president. Watch this whole thing.
Not yet. The same kinds of energy, turnout, and force. Our neighborhood is going to be what I was wrong. I also wonder seems to be more pronounced.
Glad to see how the nation can come back from this. We'd not have to
So when he went on to give a speech where he made this point again, you can tell he's frustrated with what's going on at this point, and that he doesn't want black male voters to migrate away from the Democrat Party, which there's evidence they are.
There is evidence for the former President Donald Trump, but at the same time, look, I'm not a black man. President Obama is. And when you just look at the numbers, there are especially young black men not voting at all. And I think that's where this frustration lies, Martha, because if you want to change your situation, whether it be as a black man in the black community, in your city, your state, your neighborhood, or just as a part of this wonderful, diverse fabric that we have in the United States of America, you have to be a part of the fight in the game, and the fight that you have is vote. So I understand the frustration. It frustrates me that we have less than half of the people in this country vote regardless of their background.
Clearly, the same energy that we give when I was to this group in particular. Joe, what were you going to say?
Well, right now we have Kamala Harris polling something like 20 points lower among black voters. And in places like Atlanta, or Georgia, or Philadelphia, or Pennsylvania, or Detroit, or Michigan, you got to run up the score to those kind of numbers if you expect to win those states. So Barack Obama, he sees the internal polling, and even the public polling. Donald Trump is now taking 6 of 7 swing states according to the real politics. Polls will likely get to 7 out of 7 when he overtakes her in Wisconsin. So here's how this election's going to go. If Kamala Harris is the focus, but she has been during this media blitz, when she's often turned into a human Chernobyl, the polling goes down because she isn't authentic in her answer, or substance-free, that's not resonating, especially with black voters. It's all frosting and no kick. So it's a referendum on her, and she's the spotlight. She does not win this election.
You've also got two soldiers who is going pheasant hunting and putting down Michael Strahan and trying to be sort of the testosterone part of this equation to try to bring in these male voters. You think he can close that deal, Leslie, with that kind of effort?
I don't think Tim Walz needs to be anybody but himself, and I think that's who we're seeing. Interesting, Joe, you know I have your email and I love you. I will forward you the Wall Street Journal's numbers this morning, which actually have Vice President Harris up in all of those states.
Yeah, if you're saying that no matter what you say, exactly. And what felt like momentum in the other direction 10 days ago now feels like it's in the Trump direction at the moment. Polls, and we all do the same, the poll reports in the morning. This is very tight. It could feel very different 10 days from now. But it is interesting how it's kind of settled in this field. And
Shit.
Leslie, short of, her trying something different here, that she's going to,
I became more concerned that everybody's saying how concerned and frightened we are in the house. Yeah. All right, guys. It's like the weather. Give us some days it's going to change on. But we'll see. Maybe it'll be a dynamic that moves this thing decisively, but we don't see yet. Here is former President Trump in Aurora, Colorado, a town that has had problems with Trinidad Agua. Depending on who you ask, if you ask people who live in those apartment complexes, they were very upset. And he is there today to make a big point about this.
I want one for sure.
Before going further, I want to let everyone who is still recovering from the hurricanes that hit Florida, Georgia, and North Carolina, South Carolina, Alabama, Tennessee, and Virginia, to know that we are thinking of them and we are praying for them. God bless them. God bless them. We have a lot of great people.
Oops.
Today, and I'll do it at the beginning because we have a lot to talk about.
Controller disconnected for a second. The wire's a little fucked up on it. Does that once in a while, no big deal.
They're ruining your stay. They're ruining your stay. So let's do this. Let's just very quickly mention some of the really great people and great patrons, and then we're going to get back into the business of discussing what we're going to do. You know what you're going to do? You're going to vote for Trump, and we'll solve your problem in about 15 minutes. We're pleased to be joined this afternoon by Congresswoman Lauren Goldberg. Lauren, good job. Also, Greg Lopez. Thank you, Greg. And a woman who beat Liz Cheney by the largest margin in the history of Congress. She got out and great job.
And instrument of the crown's sovereignty.
What a job, C. Peterson. See your biggest victory in history. Defeating a person sitting in Congress and she deserves Thank you very, very much. You're really fantastic. Thank you, Donna.
And in the king's hands.
Also, we have congressional candidates who are really terrific people. They have my endorsement, Gabe Evans and Jim Wright.
Kingly magic is of little use without a king.
A candidate for Congress and former ICE field office director who did a really good job for me,
But there's trouble brewing.
John Fabricatore. John Fabricatore. That's a hell of a
A word
name.
of caution.
But it worked.
You
It worked because he did a great job. Wyoming Secretary of State, Chuck Gray. Chuck, thank you very much. Great job,
She
Chuck.
has a point, though.
The Sheriff of Douglas County, Darren
Playing
Wheatley.
with the logos. He's got a recruitment office to find.
Aurora City Councilwoman, Danielle Jurinsky. And Stephanie Hancock.
This place.
The founder and president of the Article 3 project. This guy is tough as hell. We want him in a very high capacity. Mike Davis. Mike. Thank you, Mike. Where's Mike? Mike is great. Here's a man I met backstage and I realized I'd never be a big football player. Denver Bronco Derek Wolf. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Man, is he? Where is he? He's a little, you are one big guy. You are one hell of a guy. And you had a great career. Congratulations. 10 years in the NFL, all with your team. And he was a winner. He was a winner. And you are a winner. Thank you very much, I think. Appreciate it. We have a very popular man, a very popular political person, and a great congressman from Texas, Wesley Hunt. Wesley. Wesley's fantastic. Thank you. Wesley came in with me.
Oh no.
Unbelievable, actually. I've gotten to know her. She endorsed me in 2016.
I went back. I had to go forward. Shit.
Surprise endorsement.
Fucking hell.
The message and what we were saying, we were right about what we were saying. You know, when we came down that escalator, and I made
Gotta go this way.
and said, how terrible those statements turned out that they were minor compared. They were like little minor statements by comparison. But she got it better than anybody, and she endorsed us very early when it wasn't the thing to do. From Alaska, the great Sarah Palin. Thank you, sir. With the help of everyone here today, 25 days from now, think of it, 25 days. We're going to defeat
I'll let you take it from
Kamala
me.
Harris.
It should be pretty straightforward. Chris, and if you start asking questions, just be as honest as you can. Lying will only make us more suspicious.
Who has no
So long as
clue
you don't
what the hell
compromise,
is
then
going
it's
on?
fine. Good luck in there.
Did you see where she did it down?
I like her.
Yesterday, and she used the teleprompter. I never saw that. Hey, that, you don't use teleprompters. You don't use teleprompters, period. You don't use them for downloads. Now, she's not the right person not for this country, not for any country. But very simply, we're going to make America great again. So I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this day because I've been reading about it like so many people all around the world. I wanted to get here as soon as I could, and I took a good time and a good day. And, you know, the crowd, we could sell this place out 4 times. You see what's outside.
Rousing words, Captain.
NBC of all networks said a little while ago, they announced it's the single longest line for anything that they've ever seen. That's
Don't. The healers have enough on their plates already.
But I've been waiting for this day, and we're here finally in Aurora, Colorado. Of the world, and unfortunately,
That was cool.
got its attention to one of the most egregious betrayals that any leader in any nation has ever inflicted on its own people. What they've done to our country, what they're doing to our country, they're destroying, they are ruining our country. We are being led by stupid people. We cannot take it anymore. For the past 4 years, as the so-called border czar, the person in charge of our border, Kamala Harris, and you can't use the name Harris. You don't just say Harris. Nobody knows who that is. Think of Harris, nice name. So we use the name Kamala.
I've got a sharp mind.
She was last, right? She came in last, and now she's running. How about that? In all fairness, I'm not a fan of Sleepy Joe. But Sleepy Joe got 14 million votes. She got none. She never made it to the great state of Iowa. She quit. Out of 22 people, she quit. She had nothing going. And interestingly, when she came in, she was okay.
Lascia Nova, baby.
But then they heard her talking. They watched her brain in action. And when they saw the brain in action, they said, and here she is again. The Kamala reported an army of illegal alien gang members and migrant criminals from the dungeons of the third world. They come from the dungeons, think of that, the dungeons of the third world. From prisons and jails, insane asylums, and mental institutions. And she has had them resettled beautifully into your community to prey upon innocent American citizens. That's what they're doing. And no place is it more evident than right here. Because in Aurora, multiple apartment complexes have been taken over by the savage Venezuela prison gang known as Tren de Aragua. Or is your law enforcement and law enforcement all over the world? They're not law because of our stupidity. They're known as TDA. TDA has killed 7 people today, sir.
Something like
Last month, 6 men with armed rifles and many other men standing right outside waiting for handguns were caught on camera as they were forced
you don't look like the
into a situation. They said they were forced to work. They got their way into an apartment building. They threatened the tenants at gunpoint. These are people that never saw anything like this. These are people that never experienced criminals and crime. They burst into the building and they held tenants at gunpoint and at knife point. 10 minutes later, they opened fire on a 25-year-old man outside the building, fatally shooting.
Care to say that again?
Of the barbaric thugs who have been identified, at least 3 are illegal aliens who were in Border Patrol custody. They were in custody. By the way, 4 years ago, we had the safest border in the history of our country. Put up that sign, please. Put up my all-time favorite graph. Put up my... Get that put up.
You all right? You didn't have to do that. Just felt like
That's
stepping
the
in.
most beautiful graph I've ever seen. It's the most beautiful piece of paper I've ever seen. I think about it every night and I sleep with it and I kiss it.
You ignite her.
I kiss it. Because without that stuff,
These days,
be
most
here.
come with their own magic crystals.
So if you think about it, Mr. Patterson, illegal immigration saved my life. I'm the only one. Usually it's the opposite. It's usually the opposite. Thank you very much. But you see that arrow at the bottom? That's when I left. That's the day I left office. You're the lowest number of people coming into our country in the history, recorded history of our country. And then look what
Cool, maps are very handy in RPGs. Big time.
And we were very, very careful. We made in Mexico. We checked everybody out. People came in.
Only the
Then
military
they
people
got
live together.
robbed. Because then they said, let's do open borders. Let's let the whole world. And as soon as they did that, jails were empty, mental institutions were empty. And I would have done the same thing if I were in charge of any of the many countries that are. 3 of these thugs were in Border Patrol custody, but were released into the United States by Kamala. And my message, they were released when they killed people, a lot of people, they were released. But my message today is very simple. No person who has inflicted the violence and terror that Kamala Harris has inflicted on this community can ever be allowed to become the president of the United States. We're not going to let it happen. And you're weak and ineffective governor. He's a totally ineffective guy, by the way. I hope you know.
They are desperate for new blood. Oh, right. I know you
His
don't know
name
where
is
the
Jared
contract
Polis. I got to know
I know
him.
you by your feet. I also know where the real one is. And don't worry, I recognize him. Huh? The
I
charm
got to
is
know him in the White House. He come in with other governors, some Democrat. I see them all. I work with all of them. I know the good ones and the bad ones. He's not a good one, this one. But he come in, sir, it's so nice to meet you, sir. Oh, it's such an honor to be, oh, this is the Oval Office. Oh, sir, thank you, sir, thank you, sir. Then he comes back here and he says, I didn't like the guy. Can you believe it? And I gave you, not him, I didn't give anything. I gave you everything that they wanted. I gave you because I love this state. This state has to flip Republican. It has to.
It's a lot. You okay?
That's just how it is.
Well, I don't think that should be how
Let's
it
do it.
is.
That's why I'm
Some
here.
people are even saying it's the lesser tribe's fault that the
Let's
monsters
do
are
it.
showing
I'm
up now.
not here
These
for
are
my
the same
help.
people who burned down the village, remember?
Think of where it could be, though. I could take our beautiful first lady. I could be on the beautiful beaches all over the world. I could be in Monte Carlo.
Kind of taking it.
I could be all over the world, the best properties in the world. I have the best properties. And where am I? I'm right now in Aurora. And that's where I want to be, because we're going to solve this problem. We're going to solve this problem, right? If you said, where would you rather be in the most beautiful beaches in the world? Or were you trying to figure out what the hell happened to Aurora? Because you have a very different place than you had just a few months ago, right? We're going to take care of it. But Polis, he's a coward, he's a fraud, he's pathetically trying to deny. He's pathetic. He doesn't see, they don't want to see. You know what? They want to stay with Washington because otherwise they'll get indicted. They'll find they did something wrong. They'll get indicted and they're done. So he's afraid. They're all afraid. They're all cowards.
It's true.
So this guy doesn't see what you see. He doesn't see people bursting into buildings with AK-47s. Military-style weapons, sometimes better than our own military. You have to ask, they're illegal migrants. They come from poor areas. Where the hell do they get these guns, the best guns? Where do they get them? Where do they get them? Who gives them better guns than our military has? Who's giving them the guns? But she's committed crimes against your state. She has committed crimes by allowing these criminals in.
Ha 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 ha.
These people are murderers. Let's take a look at a couple of little quick notes that I put up. We're giving you the expensive treatment because of the fact we want to win the state so badly. So we gave you a couple of videos today.
Always save it.
Terminating, given that migration has increased in the wake of that.
The entire world is showing up here at our doorstep, and they're crossing illegally, and they're expecting to get released here into the United States. And so a group of men walking up the stairwell at the edge of Lacrimosa carrying rifles and anglers, and the video was shot earlier this month. One of the victims seemed talking on his cell phone while they gathered around the door. Shows men forcing a picture of gang members breaking into a vacant apartment so they can move and throw the family in. This is our business plan. One gang member told the house owner, the property manager doesn't like it. Reaches Sam in the storm getting noticed that in death victimized spouses through extortion, drug, and human trafficking. Alvaro Bosta, a former Venezuelan police officer now living in Florida, says he fled his country in large part because the gang had become so powerful they could kill law enforcement like him with impunity. Bosta says a fellow police officer who refused to cooperate with the gang was shot 50 times. Now, U.S. law enforcement, including Customs and Border Protection and the FBI, say the gang has made their way into the country.
Members have been charged with hundreds of crimes from assaulting NYPD officers and murders in Miami to shooting two different NYPD cops who were trying to arrest one of its members in June. We hear from the mother of Jocelyn Murray, the 12-year-old allegedly assaulted and killed by two illegal migrants. You think that was revealed. They were a part of the Green gang. Has given its members the green line to attack and kill police officers in Denver.
So we went out to some of Chicago's most violent neighborhoods to meet with current and former gang members who tell us that TA first showed up when the city opened up migrant shelters in these areas, and then now the Venezuelans are trying to move in.
City nonprofits have lined up to help the migrants.
Sorry about that.
The community is helping the residents.
When I'm down, when I struggle, you're always there to
This is what they're talking about. Pioneers have created a program to bring them in with humanitarian parole.
It's cursed.
More than 13,000 illegal immigrants came back to summer
crossing illegally into the U.S.
Have been legally released into the United States.
Yeah, we need to probably think about starting from scratch.
To not get nationals in custody, they have to be accused of driving an election day terrorist attack. It's like looking at the U.S. and special immigrant visa more than they could have been trained out right here in San Antonio.
Terrorizing the apartment complex. Details of the murder at Lincoln Riley. The alleged suspect, who cops say committed the terrorist murder, is in front of Real Natural. Two investigators say in the country illegally from Venezuela are charged with capital murder and the death of Jocelyn Montgomery.
Court documents suggest that a group of men arrested for beating and robbing a Dallas woman last month are members of a Venezuelan extremist, Manuel Hernandez was booked by Colorado police just 2 days earlier. The day before the robbery.
One day remains.
4 years ago, it would be unthinkable that you'd be watching something like that.
Turning.
The safest border in the history of our country. We never had a border so safe. All they had to do is leave it. Jill could have gone to the beach and she looks good in a bathing suit. And all he had to do is leave the guys that we had. They would rape people, and we ran it tough. Remain in Mexico, little things like remain in Mexico. I want to say we want to have people come into our country, but they have to come in legally. We don't want that. And then America is still known throughout the world as occupied America. They call it occupied. We're being occupied by a criminal force. And we're an occupied state that refuses to let our great law enforcement professionals do the job that they so dearly want to do. You know, they want to do the job so badly. But they're threatened constantly. You lose your pension. They don't want to do it. What is this ideology? It's so sick. But to everyone here in Colorado and all across the nation, I make this pledge and vow to you. November 5th, 2024 will be Liberation Day in America. Will be Liberation. Rescue Aurora and every town that has been invaded and conquered. These towns have been conquered. Explain that to your governor. He doesn't have a clue. They've been conquered. And we will put these vicious and bloodthirsty criminals in jail or kick them out of our country. And we will be very, very effective in doing it. It's going to happen very, very fast. Gonna get them the hell out of our country. And if your weak and ineffective governor, Jerry Polis, was doing his job, he would be leading the fight to get these gangs and thugs the hell out of Colorado now. And remember, it was Polis. So nice to be in the White House, sir. Yes, sir. Call me sir. Call me sir. He would have done whatever the hell I wanted. Yes, sir. Oh, sir. It's such an honor. And yet it was Polis who led the move to take me off the ballot because I was leading in the polls against all of the Democrats. And the Supreme Court, very brave and very brilliant, actually, 9 to nothing. That I should be on the ballot. 9 to nothing. Everybody in was leading everybody in the ballot. Every Democrat was leading everybody. He said, we have to get him off the ballot because that was part of their scheme. You know, not only the weaponization, but this was actually part of the weaponization. Their first move was to try and get me off the ballot. They didn't want to run against me. They liked other people much better. Much better. You know, we ran and won in 2016. We did much better by millions of votes in 2020, but we won't discuss that. And I will tell you, you see it by the crowd, you see it outside. Let's take a look outside. We are today, there's more enthusiasm for this movement, MAGA, the greatest movement. It's called Make America Great Again.
Next time, keep your complaints to
There's
yourself.
more enthusiasm today than ever before.
That's the last thing I need. Though I suppose
But
I
there was
deserve
great
the power.
indignation
Dead
in
and all.
Colorado
Tends to get
by
ahead of
what
the thoughts
this
sometimes.
ineffective person did. They really were angry at him, and they were angry. And especially, you know who was the most indignant? The Democrats, believe it or not. They thought it was a terrible thing to do because that is really a threat to democracy, not the fake threat that they use all the time. So I hope that Colorado, I love this place. I'm here a lot, as you know.
My title doesn't
I
mean
have a lot of friends here,
now.
and they tell me the whole thing is done. You can't live like this. You can't live with these people. These are stone cold killers. You could be walking down the street with your husband. You'll both be dead. They won't even remember they did it the following morning. You can't live like this. So I hope that Colorado will show a tremendous protest vote for what they did to try and keep me off the ballot, and more importantly, for what they have done to the fabric of your culture. And remember, I really believe Colorado is, you know, we're very close. We're very close. In fact, in one poll, we're leading by a little bit. Think of it, though. Think of it. The Democrats are good people. The Democrats were angrier than anybody. They thought it was terrible, the concept of it. And even when you get the three very liberal votes in the Supreme Court voting, they vote for Trump, you know it's got to be pretty off the wall, right? But they did. I respect them for doing it. So Colorado is going to vote for me because I'm going to make Colorado safe again. We're going to make it safe. We're going to do it back.
You want to turn a tail? Are you a traitor to the cause? The guard has no faith for cowards. You are part of His Majesty's Royal Army. Swallow your fear. Fight with
Three local apartment complexes that Kamala has infested with the TDA, that's the gang, that we talked about, the prison gang. They come out of prisons. 80% of the residents are now living with their relatives in different states and other places. They've been forced out of their building. 20% of the residents stayed, and they're fearing for their life. They had no choice but to stay. They've been threatened every single day. They're going to be out soon. They're going to be out. They don't have to be out. I would say if they can hold out. You know, January 20th, it's too long. You better get out of this, I would say. But January 20th, those guys are going to be out of their asses, and they're going to be out of this country. They're going to be out of their country.
Did you catch it yourself?
Yes, and I have a
Members of the
name, by
gang
the way.
now beat down doors with hammers and engage in open gun battles and rival groups in this once peaceful, beautiful, crime-free community. The illegal alien gang member who was the alleged leader behind the invasion of Aurora was recently charged for beating a man beyond recognition. Beat him
Take a moment.
beyond recognition.
We're prepared.
Breaking his nose, breaking his jaw, inflicting traumatic brain injury on this victim. He will never be the same, as you know. The thug was later arrested for shooting two men in the same apartment building and breaking another man's ankle, which he did just for fun. Once again, this animal landed on our border and was released into the United States by Kamala Harris, the worst border zone in the history of our country. Here in Aurora, and remember that chart, my all-time favorite chart, remember that chart.
Okay.
Look what happened, that arrow, all-time low in history, and then looking to the right, look what happened, literally the day they took over, it became a scene that nobody thought was possible, not in this state. I know this state very well, I've been here so much, and not in this state. Nobody thought this was possible. They would even be up here talking about this. Did anyone think 5 years ago, 6 years, anybody would be up here talking about this? A Venezuelan gang with the most sophisticated rifles, weapons, weapons and guns that anybody has ever seen would be taking over your state. And they're not stopping. They're not stopping. This guy gets in. We've got to get a new governor, by the way. But if he gets in again, once next year. But actually, more importantly, I can't believe she gets it. I can't believe it. By the way, did you see 60 Minutes? Her answer was so incompetent that CBS at 60 Minutes, a prestigious show, but I knew they were crooked as hell for years. They used to do the opposite to me. You know, to me, they used to cut my statement. To her, they added the statement on. There's a big difference. You want the guy that gets cut. They cut it because I made such great statements. I said, why did you cut that statement? Well, we just felt we had to do it at the time. They cut the heart out of the statement. But for me, they cut the statements. For them, they added it. So they took her entire statement out. And they took some just words. She doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. I'm telling you, there's something wrong with her. They took these words. So think of this. And you know they got caught. I think it's the greatest scandal in broadcast history, actually. They took it out and they added something else in. You think they do that for Trump? Her statement was so bad that rather than airing it, they cut it out. They took out the whole thing and they added a much shorter statement that she made.
Royal Scepter.
Having nothing to do with the question. I don't think anything like that's ever happened. And now we're finding out that it happened throughout. It wasn't the only instance. And now we're thinking that it probably happened with Biden a couple of times because he was interviewed by 60 Minutes and some strange things happened. So they're asking, but think of this. So CBS gets a license, and the license is based on honesty. I think they have to take their license away. Here in Aurora, 35-year-old mother of three had to leave her apartment for her children's lives. She said, quote, it's not safe there, especially if you have kids. If you have kids, it's horrible. My kids used to walk to
Here's
school.
where we are here, Northern Border Fort.
We were so safe, but they don't feel safe anymore. And I would never let them walk to school. Sometimes I keep my kids home. I don't even let them go to school. When I announced my presidency in 2015, you all remember that time. They said, oh, he's just doing it for fun. You think this has been fun? I've been investigating more than Al Capone. This is nothing. Al Capone, Scarface, he's the most probably, I always try and think of very evil people. Give me the most and I'll tell you who's investigating for. But think of it. He goes Hillary Clinton. How about Hunter, right? Now, I think of Al Capone because there's a toughness, a meanness, Scarface, the whole deal. And I've been investigating more than Alphonse Capone. That's an amazing phenomenon. But when I announced my presidency in 2015, I said they're not sending their best, and I took such heat. How dare you say that? This is America. Well, it turned out that what I said was like peanuts compared to the fact. I said they're sending people that have lots of problems, which they definitely do. They're sending people and bringing those problems with them. And they're bringing drugs, and they're bringing crime, and they're rapists. Okay. So I made that statement, and I got the hell knocked out of me by the fake news. Look how many you have back there. Oh, I got the hell. But I took a lot of heat for saying if I was right. And now everybody is admitting that I was right. You know, that Trump was right. How many times have you heard that? You know, when Trump ran, he made those statements. Those statements are peanuts compared to what's happening to our country. These are the worst criminals in the world. Kamala used to say, you can't say it anymore, no, the people we're bringing in are very nice people. They don't commit crime, remember? Our criminals are worse. Our criminals are like babies compared to these people. These people are the most violent people on earth. And remember, they don't come just from South America. They come from the Congo and Africa. They come from all over the world. They come from the Middle East. They come from Asia. They come from prisons and jails. They come from all over the world. And she was saying, these are very nice people. Either she's really dumb or she's very naive. Something's wrong. Something's wrong out there. The only good thing about it, I'll tell you, there's a couple of good things. There are only one good thing, but maybe two. One of the good things about it is that they make our criminals look like nice people. Okay? So our criminals are now, we see these really horrible, horrendous criminals, and we say, they're not so bad. The other thing is, they're really great if you happen to be running against the politician that allowed this to happen. Because I don't know how it's possible for anybody to lose, because we have to clean out our country and we have to make America great again, and we're going to do it. So you know the story here. We're joined today by another resident, you know, Cindy Romero, and she's going to come up and say just a few words. She bravely published her camera footage of what she witnessed, and it is gone all over the world. Cindy was forced to flee. Her home was hit with gunfire. Another day in Aurora. Can you imagine this happening? A lot of these people live in Aurora. They live in Colorado. Most of you live in Colorado. And can you imagine that you have somebody standing up here talking about this stuff? It's hard to believe. She said life in her community had become, quote, a total nightmare. Every time she went to take out the trash or went to bed at night, she had to lock her door with 4 separate locks. There's locks all over her door. And then put braces on her door, and she was preventing people that were knocking on her door. They were wanting to do a lot of bad things. So I'd like to ask, she's been very brave actually, and she was able to release footage that was so violent and vicious. And Cindy, I wouldn't have done it personally, but that's okay. You're probably braver than I am. Cindy, come up for a minute, please. Come on up.
We've got to get Trump back in office. We've got to get it done. With Trump's help, we can take this state back over. We can make a difference. Thank you guys so much for all your support. For believing me. Thank you.
She's very brave, getting all of the evidence and all of that footage. I just said you're very brave, Cindy. Thank you very much. You're a big help. And because of Cindy, others like Cindy, never happened, because there we have it. Officially, this Cindy that Kamala Harris is the day I take the oath of office. You will once again have but somebody said women love my policy, but they don't like me. I think they do like me. I tell you what. So I said a week ago, I said, I think women like me because I will be your protector, and I protected you for 4 years. We had no wars. We had no terrorism. We had none of these things that you're seeing today at levels that nobody in the world is experiencing. And I said, I will be your protector. They said, who the hell is he? But the women didn't say that. The women want protection. They don't want to have these people pouring into their house. And you know where else I protect you? Where protect you very well. I knocked out ISIS, as you know, and I've been playing with ISIS for 20 years. I did it in one month. We have the greatest military in the world, but you have to know how to use them. You have to know how to use them. But I protect you against outside enemies. But you know, I always say, we have the outside enemies. You can say China, you can say Russia, you can say Kim Jong-un, you can say, but that's not it. If you have a smart president, no problem. It's the enemy from within, the scum that we have in our country. That's a big enemy. Situation where it never happened, but it never happened. October 7th, inflation would have never happened. You had no inflation. Everyday Americans like $60 in payroll, we would have come out of society. We had Venus slums and nursing skills and the workers and many other places. Prison populations all over the world is gone. Crime all over the world is gone. Because they take the world.
Listen, Mom, I want you to shut the fuck up about shit you don't have no idea about. Do you know anything about AI? Then from now on, I want you to shut the fuck up about it, because whatever I tell you about AI, you're not going to listen to me anyways. I know everything about AI. I've been keeping track. And like I said, there's been guys that's been messing around with AI too. That's amazing. And there's like AI art and AI stuff, and wow. Elon Musk is going to go huge.
We have to live with these animals. We have to live with them for long. You watch.
He has like a whole AI thing going on.
Release and resettle all illegals without checking. Without check. She's a radical left person, just so you know. She's there's no way. The biggest problem with her is nobody knew who the hell she was. They say, who's running? Harris. Harris? Who the hell is Harris? They said Kamala, the one that failed. The one that was the first one out in the 22-person campaign for the Democrat nomination. The one that wasn't able to make it to Iowa. The one that went first. She was the first one out. She's running. But she's more liberal than crazy Bernie Sanders. Can you believe it? She's more liberal than Pocahontas. You know who that is? Remember Pocahontas? She said she's Indian. Why? Because my cheekbones are high. My mother told me. My mother told me I had high cheekbones and therefore I'm an Indian. She made a living going around saying she was an Indian, going to college, becoming a professor. Now, that was the end of her presidential campaign. Unfettered access for Venezuelan gangs and thugs and criminals. And you know, we're talking a lot about Venezuela because Aurora is really infected by Venezuela, but they're coming from all countries. We have the great Tom Homan, Central Casting, right? Tom Homan told me the other day. He said last month they came from 168 countries all over the world. Most people don't even know you had that. You actually have more than 200. But they don't even know yet. But they came from 168 countries, most of them criminals, and they deposit them in our country, and we're supposed to take it. And then the liberal philosophy is, we'll make them into wonderful people. No, you're not going to make them into wonderful people. Some people.
Is this keyboard and mouse?
People actually murdered more than 3 people. The murders that came in, many, some were on death row, and they said it's better if we just go to America. This is what we have, and they're in your community, but they're going to be all over. And you know, other communities in other states, because every state is a border state. It's not Texas, it's Arizona. It's every state is a border state. Every state. And they're now, and people are living in deathly fear. Most of them, a lot of them have already been hit, but a lot of them haven't, but they're going to be hit. Because there's millions of them, they're all over the place, and they're walking through our country, and they're going to be settled in a lot of these states that never thought a thing like this could happen. It's only going to get worse, but we're going to make it better, and we're going to make it better really fast. is flying down there. Taking this. She said, no, about 2 months ago, her and Sleepy Joe, they said, we're really getting killed by this issue, so let's toughen up the border a little. All he would have had to do is say, he keeps talking about policy, and Trump told the Congress not to do this, and that's false. All he had to do is one thing. Call up Border Patrol. This is the President of the United States speaking. Close the border, and the border's closed. But he doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to do that because they have to. So they have 21 million people coming. I think much more than that, including guns. But think of this. If you had 4 years ago, you would have 200 million people coming the whole world. The country would be over, it would be finished. It would be, you wouldn't even have a country anymore. You'd have a crime day. She cannot be allowed to do this to us. She shouldn't be the one that was chosen anyway, because she is, in fact, by the way they chose her, a threat to democracy. She really is. And just in case you didn't know it, Biden hates her. I believe there is a small possibility, very small, like 1%. There's a 1% possibility that he hates her more than he hates Donald Trump. I think he hates her. The last thing he thought, he won the primary. In all fairness, he was me against him. How about me? I have to run against the guy. I spent $150 million. I had a debate debated the guy. He went way, way down. And I thought it was over. And then the second fighter, then they put a new person in her. And we don't know anything about her. But now we learn, and now the people are learning, and she's crashing like a rock. Uh-oh. I just a thought from a very brilliant mind, they might want to put a third person in that. Oh, no. Please be nice to Kamala. I'll tell my people I'm not. Everybody that's on the Trump team, be nice to Kamala, because they're going to put a third person in. Let's see who they're going to put in next. This can only happen. They keep saying Hillary. Hillary's coming up. Hillary's back.
Everyone all right?
You know what's interesting? If Trump talks about the 2020 election, they say he's a conspiracy theorist. But Hillary's still talking about 2016. She has got serious Trump derangement syndrome. She's got a massive case of Trump derangement. No, but Jim and I, she talks about it all the time, all those people did. But when anybody from the right talks even a little bit, no, we don't forget. Hillary is talking about it. I saw her 2 days ago. I'll take it to me. Now, isn't it fun? Isn't it nice? Because I haven't looked at these stupid things in about 15 minutes. Isn't it nice to have a president that doesn't need an helicopter? Isn't that nice? Isn't that? Look at that. Some of you like to go outside and let them take your place for a little while. I thought that would happen. She's lying down in now about her flight. So we thought, she said, we're going to sort of, so they tightened it up a little bit. So the numbers look a little, but it doesn't count. The migrant flights don't count. So they don't count. So she forgot to tell anybody that the massive Boeing aircraft flying them in one after another over the border. So she didn't close it, and then they have the apps, right? How about the apps? Where they have an app. So that the gangs, the people, the cartels, the heads up, they can call the app. They call the second most resettled population. Nobody's ever seen it. They call up the app and they ask, where do we drop the illegals? The people on the other side. And they left them. She actually created an app, a phone system where they can call up. I mean, she's a criminal. She's a criminal. She really is. If you think about it. So now we informed them that you didn't close up the border because you have tens of thousands of people being flown in over the top of the border. No. If they ever did get this, and I don't believe it can happen, I can't, because the American people ultimately get to make this fun. But if you ever did, you're going to have millions of people coming here, and you're not going to have it, and they're going to take your house. That woman has a beautiful house over there, so actually. Enjoy it, because you won't have it long. They will take over your house. Just like Venezuela. You know, Venezuela was a very successful country. 20 years ago, it was a rich, beautiful country. It was taken over. And I used to talk about this. I said, if they don't get it right, you'll have Venezuela on steroids. Remember? And that's what you're going to have if you don't vote for Trump. But if you vote for Trump, you're going to have one hell of a great country. We're going to build it back. Number 2 most resettled population, but they do it through their phone. But day one of this Trump administration, you know, if you take a look at Springfield, Ohio, how about that? They have about
Rock and roll.
30,000 people. No pride, beautiful community, everything nice, schools, everything nice. They dropped in 32,000 people that are really illegal. You know, they did it in such a way that they can make vacation. They said they did it through probation. And what's probation? They took them in through probation. So I assume they're like prisoners or something, and therefore they're legal. They brought in 30,000
What happened?
people into a community of 50. A community that was a nice community. And now if you want to go to the hospital, you can't get in. Your children can't get into school. And what they're doing is, look, in the mayor's a very nice man. I mean, I think he's nice. He's trying to be nice. He's looking for... He's acting like, yes, we're having a hard time hiring interpreters. This community was hit with 32,000 illegal migrants.
Fucking hell, what the hell's going on?
Springfield, Ohio. When they moved the Trump organization, when I founded it, it was nice, but now it's great. But I want to get back to the Trump administration, because the Trump administration is going to do things like has really never been done. We're going to clean this thing out. The good thing about this 4-year period, it's a horrible period. It's a shame it happened. It should have never happened. Shouldn't have happened. But they've done so badly that we'll be able to do it, and we'll be able to do it with cheers, because people see how bad it is and how bad it's been run. And that's why there's far more enthusiasm for this movement, the greatest movement ever. And by the way, if it wasn't, the fake news would be headlines. Donald Trump lied. When Biden would get up and he'd say, we're going to stop MAGA, we're going to do something about MAGA. Remember with the pink wall, he looked like the devil, huh? Remember the pink wall? We're going to stop MAGA, I think it's called MAGA. We're going to stop MAGA. And I said, Joe, it's going to make America great again. And he wants to stop it. He wants to stop it. We're going to stop it. But the border will be sealed. The invasion will be stopped. The migrant flights will end, and Kamala's app for illegals will be shut down immediately within 24 hours. All within 24 hours. And you know, I've always had an ability to do a lot of things, so I'm going to do something else on the first. I'm going to do all those things. The border, we're going to make it strong very quickly. We're going to get people out that are criminals and horrible people. But we're also going to do something else. Drill, baby, drill. On that same day, we will begin the task of finding and deporting every single illegal alien gang member from our country. We'll get them out. This will be a major national undertaking, according to newly published data from ICE. The great patriots of ICE, I call them. These guys are tough as hell, I'll tell you. They should be fighting for Dana White, UFC, ICE. You gotta see them. They go in MS-13. That's another beautiful gang. They're tough as hell. They've taken them out by the thousands. She wants to end ICE. She doesn't want to have ICE. But they informed us that over the last short period of time, 13,099 illegal aliens convicted of murder are at large and dropped into the United States against their wishes, against our Border Patrol's wishes. The wishes of our Border Patrol, they said, please don't do this, please don't do this. Even as the New York Times, which is totally corrupt, I mean, I can't stand that paper. I can't stand that. You know what you do with the Times? When you read a story, just think the opposite. They're the enemy of the people. The New York Times is the enemy. Washington Post is the enemy of the people, too. I don't understand it, why. And then they lose credibility. Eventually they go out of business. I call it the failing New York Times. But even as the New York Times recently reported, the TDA Venezuelan prison gang has, quote, sneaked into the United States among the millions of migrants who have crossed the border and is peddling drugs, guns, and women all across the 50 states, from the urban centers like New York and Chicago to Florida beaches to the once tranquil middle of America. It was once tranquil. You were once tranquil. In Colorado, the gang even got a green light to shoot police officers. Did you know that the gang got the okay to kill your police? You know that. By the way, that's the New York Times. That's not me. That's the New York Times saying that they got the green light to kill your police. Just days ago, it was an amazing day. I was in a small town, Prairie View. You know, we're leaving Wisconsin by 4.5 hours.
Shit. Sorry.
They have a similar problem. You know, almost all states have this. You know, just so we said it straight, Aurora's got a lot of
First boss.
states that have a bigger problem than Aurora. And you have that people aren't talking about. A lot of the people that run the states, they don't want to talk about it. They want to try and solve it, but they can't because they're not tough enough. You need very tough people like ICE, like military. You need very tough people to solve it. They can't. You know, you'll have a sheriff with 1 or 2 men, and you'll have 25 migrants with weaponry that they haven't even seen in some cases.
I think we're gonna die.
But they don't want to talk about it because the public relations is so bad for the town or the little city that they run. Or the big city. Look at Chicago, look at New York, look at Los Angeles, what's happening to it. In Wisconsin, where last month an illegal alien member of this ruthless gang was arrested for holding a mother and a daughter captive against their will and sexually assaulting them again and again and again. In Houston in June, 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungari was kidnapped, tied up, and assaulted for 2 hours under the bridge before she was murdered by 2 Venezuelan TDAs, these gang members who Kamala Harris had ordered and led into the United States. Totally unvetted. Nobody knew who they were. Totally unvetted. Come on in. You just come on in. In New York City, another gang member recently shot 2 New York City police officers, hitting one in the chest and the other in the leg. They were really, really badly hurt. Probably going to make it. And just last week, police arrested over a dozen members of TDA, the Venezuelan gang, who had taken over yet another apartment complex in San Antonio. They're like in the real estate business, like I used to be. They take over a lot of real estate, but they do it by gunpoint. I had to go borrow money. I had to see the banks. This is a wonderful deal. Would you like to? But they just walk in with guns and take it over. It's much quicker. It's horrible. In San Antonio and terrorize its residents to a level that they've never seen before. San Antonio police very aptly named their law enforcement effort Operation Aurora, because Aurora was the one that was first and got all that publicity. Operation Aurora. In honor of Jocelyn Nungari, Lincoln, Riley, beautiful Lincoln, Rachel, Lauren, and all of the others that are dead and or mortally wounded at the hands of migrants who should never have been allowed into our country. I'm announcing today that upon taking office, we will have an Operation Aurora at the federal level. To expedite the removals of these savage gangs to target and dismantle every migrant criminal network operating on American soil. Who would have ever thought that a president or future president would ever have to stand here and say such things? Who would think that that's even possible to have to do? So many things have changed in the last 4 years, but that's the state of our country now after Kamala and Joe Biden have just absolutely destroyed our country. We're a country in tremendous distress. We're a failing country. We're left at all over the world. We will send elite squads of ICE, Border Patrol, and federal law enforcement officers to hunt down, arrest, and deport every last illegal alien gang member until there is not a single one left in this country. And if they come back into our country, they will be told it is an automatic 10-year sentence in jail with no possibility of parole. And I'm hereby calling for the death penalty for any migrant that kills an American citizen or a law enforcement officer. With your vote, we will achieve complete and total victory over these sadistic monsters. It's going to go very quickly. Remember our local police? They're great. I know them so well. They've been restricted from operating. They're great. They know everything about every one of them. They say, oh, how will you ever find them? The local police know everyone. They know their middle names. They know their serial numbers, where they live. No, they want to do their job. They're done. You have no idea how many police officers say, sir, we're going to indemnify them against any prosecutions because they get prosecuted if they do their work. It's going to pass, that it'll pass so fast. If they do their job, they get prosecuted by their own people. They get sued by the people that won't take care of the criminals. Some of the DAs that won't do the, think of it, and AGs. They won't go after the criminal, but they go after our police officers if they do the job. We will take back our suburbs, we'll take back our cities and towns, and we will take back our country, and we will do it very, very quickly. What Kamala Harris, and remember, I remember when Joe, he didn't want to do it, he was too tired, he didn't want to do it. I like to do it myself. But by the way, how good is J.D. Vance? Is he good?
I could see these battles getting really complex later on in the game, which is what I'm aiming for. I like this shit. They did a good job on the fights.
The other night exposing that total moron. Man, can you imagine? How about in a debate a guy calls himself a knucklehead? He says he's a knucklehead. And he is a knucklehead when you get right down. What a team that is. So Joe Biden is considered the worst president in the history of our country. They are considered the worst administration in the history of our country. And the only one that's happy is Jimmy Carter, because by comparison, he looked like a brilliant president. Okay? Much better. No, he was much better. What Kamala Harris has done to our border is a crime and an atrocity of the highest order. But even after all of the pain and suffering she's caused when Kamala was asked this week if she would do anything different than Biden, she choked like a dog. She said not one thing. So she wouldn't have done anything different. Let's take a look at this video.
Would you have done something differently than President Biden? There is not a thing that comes to mind.
I stood there on the tarmac watching you check your watch.
The chaotic and deadly U.S. evacuation from Afghanistan stunned Americans and the world and cost the lives of 13 U.S. soldiers. Would you have done something differently? There is not a thing that comes to mind.
More than 13,000 illegal immigrants convicted of murder have been caught at the border and then released into the United States.
National, the day after the election had terrorist
It sounds like you're especially in the release.
Confronting new details in the murder of Georgia nursing student Layden Riley. The illegal immigrant suspect who cops say committed the heinous murder is a Venezuelan national who crossed the unsecured southern border back in 2022. Two men investigators say are in the country illegally in Venezuela on charge of capital murder and the death of Jocelyn Monroe. Good illegal immigrant accused of attacking two New York City police officers over the weekend showed no remorse or regret. Would you have done something differently? Here is Donna saying it comes to mind.
18%. Looks like the economy is in excellent. Look, the U.S. inflation has hit a new 40-year high, increasing by 9.1% over the financial year.
The cost of homes has spiked. Home buyers need to earn 80% more than they did in 2020 to afford a house. Are you the last person in the room? Yes.
I watched that, and I said, well, this is going to be a long answer because she's changed 15 policies. She was in favor of gun confiscation, every single thing that you don't want. 15 times. I said this, and she changed. Nobody's ever, if you change one thing, you're in trouble. She did fit every single thing. But every single thing she changed, she would end up doing, including banning fracking, which is going to drive up costs, which and hence, I'm leading Pennsylvania by a lot. That would be the end of Pennsylvania. That would be the end of Pennsylvania. But that statement, I can't think of a thing that changed from Trump. The worst president ever, she's not going to change. No, she choked. I thought this was going to be a long answer. Long, beautiful. The weave. I thought you'd do a weave like Trump does. Weave. And then always come back into what you good. They need a great memory for that. She doesn't have that. But what she said is disqualifying. If she had any honor, she would drop out of the race right now and resign. The vice presidency a disgrace. Because what she has done to the country is unthinkable. It was just announced yesterday that inflation came in substantially higher than expected last month. Double what was predicted, with much of the food prices going up, rent and housing costs going up, and car prices going through the roof. 4 years ago, when I left office, we had no inflation. We had virtually, think of it, we had no inflation virtually for my whole term, 4 years. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. We never had an economy like that. And we were energy independent. How does that sound? We were energy independent. Now we're buying our oil from Venezuela and other countries. Under Biden and Harris, the economy has been a disaster, the worst inflation in history, costing the typical family $29,000 in higher prices. Think of that, $29,000. But I think to me the worst thing of all, when she says she wouldn't have changed, this is something that it was me. I mean, you'd never see me again. I really believe it. Kamala lost 325,000 migrant children who are now dead or in slavery. They're gone. She's missing 325,000 children. Their parents are looking. They're never going to see their parents again. They came in, they were taken in, and they're either dead in slavery or just plain missing. It's a horrible thing, and I thought I'd put this up because it's a beautiful day. We have some wonderful people, and I want you to take a look at military the way it was, where we won 2 world wars, where we had something known as Fort Bragg, where the names were changed. You win 2 wars out of Fort Bragg, and they want to change the name, but where they changed the name in places that we won a lot of military battles, wars, and I thought you should see the way it sort of was. You get a pretty heavy dose of this, and I saw it the other day. I said, we got to put it up. Go ahead, please. you see all of that, and Kamala says she wouldn't change one thing from the worst president in the history of our country. She wouldn't change one thing. The only way to end this suffering is to vote for change this November. You're going to vote for change. Emergency rooms in Denver, beautiful Denver, have been, think of this, 6,000% increase in patients. 6,000% increase. You're not going to get a room, when you go to hospitals, you're not going to get a room. Someday you don't know it because you hopefully won't need a hospital. But if you do, you're not going to be able to get in. They come in from Colombia, from Honduras, from Ecuador, from Venezuela. They come in from there, you cannot get a room. They can't get a room. A hospital only 15 miles outside of Aurora has been overwhelmed by 20,000 visits from illegal aliens, costing the hospital over $10 million, and those costs are being passed on to you directly. Before Kamala Harris, before she came, Denver schools enrolled an average, listen to this, Denver schools, this is the way it used to be, enrolled an average of 500 new students every year. Earlier this year, it was reported that they were enrolling 500 new students every 2 weeks. Most of them coming in from South American countries. They don't speak our language, and they don't even want to be here, frankly. Many of them don't even want to be here. In Aurora, nearly 3,000 illegal migrant children have been placed into your elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools, once again at your expense and at the cost of more opportunity for them and no opportunity for your kids. They're not, the kids can't even get into their own schools. Kids that went to a school aren't even able to get back in. They're taking care of these people before they take care of our children. These massive new burdens on our education and healthcare systems are being experienced by communities all across our country and are destroying your children's education, safety, and indeed destroying their lives. And as you know, FEMA, which has totally gotten out of control and away from its mission, it had a mission, a big mission. You know what that mission was, to save people in storms and other things. Has spent billions and billions of dollars illegally allowing people to come into our country and destroying our once beautiful way of life. Yet hurricane victims from North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, Tennessee, Louisiana, Texas, all over our country. And we have storms all over our country, different kinds of storms, different kinds of catastrophes. They can't get housing or rescues, and they're offered pennies of the dollar. They're offered pennies of the dollar. These people that have gone through hell are offered pennies of the dollar from Kamala and Joe, and yet we give hundreds of billions of dollars from countries that people have never even heard of in this country. And now Kamala wants to provide amnesty and citizenship to the 21 million illegal aliens she let in, including murderers, gang members, drug lords, human traffickers, not to mention the millions of gotaways and all of the others that very smart leaders have viciously thrown out of their countries. These are very smart leaders. I would do it. I would have done it faster than them, I tell you. As soon as I thought of it, I said, remember I said it 3 years ago, I said, that's going to happen if they have opened the door.
Donald Trump holds a rally in Colorado. Keep an eye on that. Hello, everybody, and guess who was there? Haley McEnany, Jessica Carlisle, Shannon Green, and Greg Gutfeld. 5 o'clock in New York City, and this is the 5. Kamala capping off the week of train wreck interviews with one more flop. A town hall of the Univision. Harris pandering hard to Latinos who are moving into Trump's town. So she threw on the accent and busted out her tired can lines.
I hope your family is okay and your home is okay. Listen, I know prices are too high still. You know prices are too high still. And we have to do it. Here's how I feel about it. Again, you've heard my story. I come from the working class. I'm never going to forget that. And part of what we have to do is build what I call an opportunity economy.
And get this, on the same day that Kamala was trying to She was getting glammed up for both cover. The digital version, not the actual cover, which has Billie Eilish on it. And well, a couple of fumbles in the home stretch. Donald Trump's firing up another blue state. The former president out in Aurora, Colorado, the epicenter of the criminal migrant gang, like Trinidad. Watch this.
Kamala has imported an army of illegal alien gang members and migrant criminals, and she has had them resettled beautifully into your community to prey upon innocent American citizens. That's what they're doing. And no place is more evident than right here. I will rescue Aurora, a town that has been invaded and conquered.
Shannon, is the Harris campaign okay? Is it okay?
See, that's as far as I go. Listen, I think the thing is, she is doing worse with Hispanic voters potentially than Hillary Clinton did, than Joe Biden did. So I clearly think that they see there's a need to make up some ground here. But I think at the end of the day, Hispanic voters care about what most voters care about, which the polls tell us is the economy. They do care about immigration, and we all know people who immigrated here illegally. They are the ones who are most concerned about the border. It takes years. It takes tons of court hearings. It takes thousands, tens of thousands of dollars to get that done. So when it comes to immigration, they may not be exactly where Democrats think that they are. And they're the ones who are going to want to do things and force people to not jump them in line, that kind of thing. But if you're going to be talking to any group, I think right now you have to be talking about food and groceries and gas and how you're going to fix that. And we've yet to hear that particularly.
We haven't really heard a lot, have we? But we've heard a lot of accents, Jessica. Can you explain the accent situation?
No, I can't. It's a very common thing. I don't think that was that pronounced, but it does happen when you were talking to other people who have a specific accent that you can dip into it. There's a formal term for it that escapes me at this moment, but it's not the dip. There's a formal term. But this was incredibly important for her to do this. It's been getting softer and softer with Latino voters over a number of cycles, and it's something that we obviously want to pull back from, not just electorally, but to make sure that these people feel that they're part of our coalition and that the Democrats are delivering for them. And what she did offer in the town hall was a stark distinction in the way that she talks about immigration from Donald Trump. So she not only had the bipartisan border deal, which Donald Trump personally torpedoed, it was the most conservative bipartisan bill that we've ever had, but she was talking about a Catholic.
Let's see.
Which she never does. It's something that's overwhelmingly popular. About 70% of Americans are in favor of that. She was talking about protecting.
I'm just checking on something, guys. Give me a second here.
Majority of Americans are supportive of. Two things that are off the menu for Trump, who's in Aurora, Colorado, talking about a situation with gang violence that the Republican mayor actually disputes isn't even happening. But everything with him is doom and gloom. They're, eating the cats, eating the dogs, higher rates of crime, etc. And she had a much more balanced vision of it. And she also got to, we said, talk about grocery prices, inflation issues. She was also asked by an independent voter about the primary process, and that this voter felt like it wasn't necessarily fair that she ended up the nominee, and this is something that has been circulating around. It doesn't. Democrats aren't dissatisfied with it, but it's certainly a question, and I thought that it was really good that that got out there. And she said that this is, really about a party that believes in democracy and protecting the Constitution and certifying elections, and a rogue party on the other side, led by Donald Trump. I thought it was a good night for her. Frankly, she got to touch on one of the issues that matter.
Kamala Harris talking about amnesty. She calls it a pathway to citizenship. It's amnesty. You break into the country, you're given citizenship. If that's so overwhelmingly popular, as Jessica says, why didn't the Democrats do anything about that when they had the House, the Senate, and the White House?
Exactly. Well, number one, Donald Trump believes on immigration in every poll that I have seen. So voters are with him on immigration. Number two, you're exactly right. Democrats had unilateral control of government. They had the House, they had the Senate, and this bill was the panacea for our border issues. Well, you had 2 years to create your panacea. You chose not to do it because you don't care about the border and how it's politically toxic to you. And also, you have the executive power that Donald Trump had to stop what's happening at the border that Biden failed to use until 3 years into his presidency. But the challenge, Jesse, is this election is going to be a battle between the power of the people and the power of the media. The power of the media is enormous. You've seen that vote cover where they tout Kamala as this candidate who was like manna that dropped from heaven. The ABC debated story on one, 16 minutes Donald Trump is ahead in 6 of 7 swing states. Mark Halperin said there is a realistic scenario where he sweeps 6 of those states. Quinnipiac, which leans left, has Donald Trump leading into the rest of the states. It's the people versus the media. And imagine, you want to talk about the Wall Street Journal where it's neck and neck, where Donald Trump is still leading in about half of the states. All of the states are real fair politics gatherers polls. He is sweeping 6 of 7. And we know there's a polling bias that goes against Trump. Biden was 10 points up over Trump nationally this time around. You have Kamala, she's up 2. I'll take Trump's cards in this.
All right, and we're not calling it a red wave. It's just he happens to be winning every single battle.
Correct. That's not
In a dashing
cozy.
We've all been touching it. It's very cozy, and it's so nice. I didn't even listen to the show.
Good.
So I'm just going to rattle. These things. Kamala on the cover of Vogue. I mean, it's an improvement over Joe, who was on the cover of Forbes. So about Hispanic voters. Okay, you have to understand, I'm taking this from a male perspective. Kamala Harris is a woman who said more woke is better. There are no woke male Latinos, with the exception of Ana Navarro. Men want leaders. It's not important if you call them dangerous. You will take dangerous over shittery. And that's what we're getting with Kamala. She doesn't come off as smart or bright or organized or capable or even present when she's being interviewed. You can say, oh, he's a danger to democracy. Right now, we can't touch that. It's a dystopian fantasy that you throw out to scare people. What we can't touch are the real dangers, which is the border, crime on our streets, the danger to our wallets. These are all real dangers. Bonnie reporter asked Harris if she can name 3 good things about Trump. Did you see that? And she stammered and everybody laughed, ha, ha, ha. The funny part about that is no one can give them 3 reasons or even 1 reason to like Kamala. Right? It's a pure, we know this, it's a pure anti-Trump vote. She wasn't the first, second, third, fourth, fifth choice of Democrats. For some reason, she cut in line. Talk about unfair. So this is a campaign that is based on emotional trauma. Harris is just the doll you use to say where Trump goes.
Yeah. She didn't say that he loves his family, which I thought was nice. She doesn't need to. Come on. What do you think he would have said? I don't think he would have said she loves her family.
He said she's very attractive.
So I was like, I find her hot. I wouldn't have her, but.
Speaking of, and I want to talk directly to the ladies that are watching right now. Greg will be wearing this shirt the whole show. Alright, so settle in, get the wine out, and just bask in this masculine male. I love the shirt.
It was a jumpsuit, by the way.
It's a woman in his feet. A slanket. Ahead, Barack Obama berating black men who aren't sold on Kamala.
Advil liquid gels are faster and stronger than Tylenol rapid-release gels. Also from Advil Targeted Relief, the only topical with 4 powerful pain-fighting ingredients that start working on contact and lasts up to 8 hours.
In 2017, the Trump administration banned Kaspersky, a Russian-made antivirus, from the federal government due to security holes and its CEO's ties to the Russian KGB. America is stronger without foreign antiviruses like Kaspersky. Non-native antivirus is a national security risk, exports jobs, and is the reason for the ransomware pandemic. Go to PCMatic.com because made in America matters.
In the furniture business, things go fast. ZipRecruiter helped us hire qualified candidates who can keep up. We needed a project manager yesterday. We posted a job with ZipRecruiter and had our guy on site for 5 days. He was qualified in every way. ZipRecruiter finds the best candidates for all the jobs. They helped us build our dream team. Did it fast. Is that too fast?
Qualified employers who post on ZipRecruiter. They're quality candidates within changed the policy so that every transgender inmate would have access. It sounds insane because it is insane. Kamala was the first to help pay for a prisoner's
Excellent.
change. The power that
I think we're gonna save it soon.
about pushing for the movement and the agenda. Kamala's agenda is for them, not for you.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, 100 minutes. No. There's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. I mean, honestly, when I started it, like 4. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? Sorry, I shouldn't be victim right now. It's still $15 a month, so whatever. Sorry about that reaction.
Panic is setting in. Even Barack Obama is worried about the lack of enthusiasm for Kamala Harris. We've got the details right here tonight on Harris.
One small step for man, one giant leap for free streaming. This Wall Street, all for free, and download the free STD app now.
Last 2 years that I've been on my own, it's been really challenging way to make ends meet. You know, the way you can see that I feel for things that food, keeping the cost of food down, help with groceries and other necessities that if they need, that it gets always done with a smile. Thanks to Neverwinter, seniors like myself live in grace and dignity.
Legend has it that there's this massive treasure hidden in some secret vault. President Obama hitting the campaign trail for Kamala Harris in battleground Pennsylvania and making a surprise stop at a Pittsburgh campaign field office where he delivered a blunt message to black men who he admits are not as excited for Harris as he thinks that they should be.
We have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that seems to be more about
Obama then hitting the stage for a rally and launching some of his most personal attacks at former President Trump. Check it out.
the reason why people think, I don't know, I remember that economy when he first came in, did pretty good. Yeah, it was pretty good because it was my economy. I remember changing that. You think Donald Trump ever changed the bank? I almost said that, but I decided I shouldn't say it.
Hold that, we have to have that soundbite on camera, but he says that the 4 years that people remember better economy was because of what he put in place. And before that, he said he had to clean up the mess he got when he arrived, but he set up President Trump to discuss. Yeah, I don't think so. Look, I heard yesterday from a friend who texted me and said that he was talking to a black man in North Carolina. And his black man said, I'm going to vote for Donald Trump. And he pulled out his wallet and he said, this needs help. And I think that that is applicable across all demographics. People need help. And it reminded me of a story from 4 years prior. I was on Air Force One with President Trump. We're out campaigning, and this Wall Street Journal editorial board op-ed posted about wages. And I remember being like, guys, we gotta read this. We gotta put this out there. It said that wages grew by 50% Well, and you heard him there. I mean, Jesse, there was some tough love. And he said they got to get it together. Flirting, young men, especially young black men, just flirting with this idea that he would likely just wait around until spring, don't line up with
Why? Because she's changed the diaper. If I'm voting for whoever can change a diaper, I'm voting for Kamala Harris. But this whole country needs a
Okay.
change. That's why I'm voting for Trump. And as a black man, yes, 0.1%.
Fuck, I can't save it here.
This tribal politics thing only works sometimes, like if there's the first Catholic president, maybe go in bed. I'm not Catholic. Just want to put that out there. I'm also not Jewish. A lot of people think that.
no one knows.
I get that a lot for some reason. I think it's my hair. But it's also, the first black president. I was very excited to cast my vote for Bill Clinton. And then many people also, when Barack came onto the scene, they get excited. But the economy is so bad, you can't afford a house. You can't afford things. Bacon. I think bacon went up 45%. Now, if somebody eats a lot of bacon against the advice of my doctor, well, prove that. Do they have bacon that's kosher, by the way? Okay, it's probably not as good. Are you jealous of my bacon?
I eat your bacon. I don't keep kosher. There you go.
That's awesome. She just said she ate my bacon. Jessica Tarlov. But anyway, so we're not doing the tribal stuff anymore. It's not working anymore. And Barack Obama seems to have lost his touch. And even with the loss of touch, he still overshadows Kamala Harris. When you look at the way he talks on stage, and then you look at the way she talks or tries to talk, it really reinforces the fact that she's really not up to the task. Even when she was on 60 Minutes with Bill Whitaker, I thought Bill Whitaker had more juice than she did. She just needs to get it together, and that is not a book plug. But if you're interested, still on Amazon.
Okay, so when I saw this last night from President Obama, I got this flashback to when we remember from President Biden during the last campaign saying, if you can't decide if it's me or Trump, then you ain't black. Was these comments. That is a quote. But no group is monolithic in how they go.
Absolutely right. No group is monolithic. That wasn't a race lecture, that was a class lecture. He was coming from his first telling them, you guys gotta vote for her. Why? I think she's the reason. In fact, the author knows reason, other than not Trump. I'm thinking that she's not Trump has run out of steam. The population where the hate for Trump is bottomless really got them. Everybody else is now going like, what? Back up, dude. Tell me what she's doing. Tell me what she's doing. I think the reason why you're seeing Hispanic and black and to be fair, young people moving out of men, moving away from the Democrats because the Dems relied on this misleading, amorphous notion of fairness. And their solution was to solve it with unfairness. And I think men realize it. It's not about race, it's about reality. They look at, it's not, if you're black, you're not going to look at crime, illegal immigration, the price of eggs any differently than a white person. And the method of power and control by keeping people in their groups is suddenly wearing off because individuals do not think like groups, they think like individuals. It's why a white guy can have more in common with a black guy. They might be dads, they might be military vets, they might be truck drivers, they might, there was a black guy there with more in common with, dare I say, Jesse than Barack Obama.
Okay, so they know that there are softer numbers and they would like to see, and if President Biden is doing better with black voters than, she is now, before she got on the right. She's going to tell them, that may not be an easy interview for her, but no one is important to do. I think they're really 83% of black voters. He got 90, and he was about 84, 85 at this point a few weeks ago. This is a group that generally comes home, and we'll see what happens. But she's not doing a business. But where the fissure is between someone like Barack Obama, who messages like that and just says, snap out of it. This is ridiculous. He says, you're lucky to show it, which was one of his lines as well. And I don't think any of us are in a position to tell Barack Obama how to message. The guy knows what he's doing. He's won two presidential elections, and he's one of the greatest political communicators that we've ever seen. Jesse, don't make a face. You know that it's Hillary. I didn't make a face.
I didn't make a face. It's my Asian face.
It's an Asian face.
I was wearing a face. I did not make a face.
Okay, guys. But then there's this other side, like Wendell Pierce, the actor, who is a big Democratic activist as well, who was tweeting today about Obama's approach, and he said this is all wrong in terms of messaging, that it is a good thing to question the party about what your loyalty has gotten you, and then for the Democrats to make your case. This isn't, and he wants Kamala to win. He thinks Democrats are better for black voters for a bunch of reasons, and Halloween is similar, and that's why I think this town hall is going to be so good, and it goes beyond the breakfast club. It's going to be across all iHeart stations.
Not iHeart stations.
Yes. What happened on my phone in my situation is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Don't let me get something to insult you like that. You should see what I did in my system.
Oh, I know.
Keep it in mind.
Yes, I heard from Senator or okay. Anyway, well, Democrats called Trump and Baby Dance weird. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer is facing criticism over a bizarre video on Instagram for Doritos.
Fuck. Oops.
When did doing business become more about culture wars and less about, business? Some companies today bring politics into the boardroom. They engage or eliminate it. That's why I use Spotlight reports from 1792 Exchange. Here, I can search more than 2,000 companies to see if they care more about divisive social issues than about running a sound business. Isn't it time we got back to the business of business? Learn the risk to your company or family at 1792exchange.com.
Meet the traveling trio, the thrill seeker, soul searcher, and it's the explorer, each helping to protect their money with Chase. Whoa, a lost card isn't keeping this thrill seeker down. Lost your card? Not buy it. The soul searcher is finding his identity and then helping to protect it. Oh yeah, the explorer. She's looking a bit deeper, all while Chase looks out for her. Because these friends have Chase, alerts that help check, tools that help protect, one bank that puts you in control. Chase, make more of what's yours.
For over 25 years, SaGa has been rewriting the rules of company. It's okay to change your style. Get messy. Get immersed. With SaGa, you make the rules.
The Cuisinart air fryer toaster oven is your canvas of self-expression. It heats evenly, but it's much faster than the oven. Because you show how to enjoy whatever this is. A work with Cuisinart.
You're getting out of step with your current big wireless plan. Switch to consumer cellular. All the gifts is the price. Strong for plans starting at just $20. It's easy to switch to consumer cellular.
I've been using Whitemarch to face for years, but I really wanted that dentist visit right, so I decided to try whitening strips, and wow, look how white my teeth are, and let me tell you, they feel amazing.
The best part of any of those renovation shows is always the transformation they show you at the end. I'm Brian Gary here with Brian Price from Renewal by Anderson, and he's going to show us some of their transformations.
Hey, Brian, let me ask you, you remodeled your kitchen. Did you choose the same styles you had?
No.
So you can go for your windows and doors. For example, you're standing here doing the dishes, and these grills always walk in. With our window styles, you can easily see the whole backyard.
Black is really nice too. Okay, here's a question I get all the time. What makes Renewal by Anderson different?
Well, we do offer something that a lot of other window companies and contractors don't. And that's amazing financing. A lot of times you can upgrade your
Definitely had to grab some more coffee.
Of anyone that's on a ticket right now. Well, who does Gretchen Whitmer appeal to? Michiganders. She won by an even bigger margin when she ran for re-election and has united coalition we haven't seen in Michigan in decades. These people are popular. I get it. I wouldn't have done that video. I think it looks incredibly weird, but I'm going to use it to target something of substance, which is Catholic voters. So Joe Biden and Donald Trump basically split the Catholic vote. There was an expectation Biden would do better because he is a practicing Catholic. He didn't. As Trump wanted, he's 50-49. Kamala's up by 7 over Trump with Catholic voters, 50-43 in the latest polling. And well, he's actually politically pro-choice and personally pro-life, and yes, he absolutely can be. But what I want to say about this is that clearly you have a lot of
So I trust you, young lady.
I'd like to talk about Trump though for a second. What you see happening with religious voters, and this is well with evangelicals, though the numbers are not actually turning against him, but you do see some slippage, is that religious voters see a person who has a bad character. They see someone who is an adulterer. They see someone who demonizes migrants, who demeans women. And that is something that is resonating from the Harris campaign. They are making that case, and they are getting somewhere with that. You see someone, this God Bless America Bible that he has, that he printed 120,000 copies of in China. So the America First guy that's producing his Bible in China costs $3 to make it. He's copying them for $59.99 here. Those are things that people who are actually religious and care about it are looking at it and saying, like, is this not just a hot people who are evangelical Catholics should read the Bible? It's almost basically mirror of life. And that's just free. Well, should it be founded in China, the American First guy? Should it be Bible Bible? You know what it is? You want to do
So whether it's this Bible or it's infidelity or a person of bad character, those are very easy topics to discuss as long as you don't discuss your stance on abortion. If you are a Catholic, you are not I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking because you're not Catholic. And I'm just saying that if you are a Catholic and you are upset about Donald Trump's character, and yet you are okay with voting for a person who wants abortion on demand, you're worse. I'm sorry, you're worse. And I'm just saying from when you analyze the beliefs of a Catholic being pro-life, you have no stance at all. You are okay with abortion. You can't say, oh, Trump has a lousy character. No, you got no character. You have none.
Yeah. Single issue voters, Christian community, single issue voters, that's the issue of life that Greg just beautifully spoke to. All right.
Thank you so much.
The past is up next.
Very good.
Conclave. The Pope is dead. The throne is vacant. We're about to choose the most famous man. I'm saying that for one papacy. The men more dangerous are the ones who do the activity. Conclave is the fall's most electrifying entertainment. And hands down the best picture of the year. You should be careful, Thomas. Conclave, rated PG, only in theaters up till the 25th.
A large retail store just canceled on $2 going to ton of extra my pillows. But you know what? That's their loss. I'm going to make it your game. For the first time ever, you get standard classic My Pillows for wholesale prices. Only $14.88. I can't believe I'm even saying that. Only $14.88. But it gets even better. For a limited time, I'm going to offer my entire classic collection at wholesale prices. Upgrade to a queen size My Pillow for just $18.88. King size only $1 more. Get my body pillows for $29.88 and multi-use My Pillows for only $9.88. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on the screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of wholesale pricing for the first time ever on TV, including my standard size My Pillow, only $14.88. They've never been offered this low before. We have limited quantities at this price, so limit's going to be 10, and once they're gone, they're gone.
I'm Sandy Cowan, and I've written multiple books about health and wellness, so obviously living a healthy life is important to me. That's why I eat well, exercise, and take balance of nature. Balance of nature is perfect for me. Cool. Use it forever.
Get 35% off your first order as a preferred customer. Enjoy a 30-day money-back guarantee and free shipping. Don't wait any longer. Use discount code POP2. Hi, I'm Jesse Alexander, singer-songwriter from Nashville, and you're right. Someone say, hey, that song got me through my last rounds of chemo. I ran the last mile. I'm so grateful that I have a song that makes people feel any ounce of strength, hope, just to take that next step.
2,226 steps in this building. I guarantee you this. There's at least 2,226 stories of heroism that day.
I'm for fallen. You guys from my unit, the guys and girls I never met, and all the firefighters, Port Authority, and New York State police officers that were lost that day.
I climbed to the those that never got to come home. They never got a chance to fly back down on September 11th, 2001.
We are here, we are not going away, and we're going to run up those things and all those people. God bless you, God bless another. So it's going to be enough now.
I feel like Tunnel of Towers is my family away from my family. No matter what I need, when I need it, where I need it, I know that I have an extended family member from Tunnel of Towers that will make that happen for me.
It's the
Stay strong even when it's like you can't see how you're going to make that next step. How you're going to put one foot forward. Just strength, because we are all so powerful and have way more strength inside of us than we can imagine. Still being
Welcome back. It's time for the best. Sam Bankman-Fried, number 2, former co-CEO of FTX running Salem, is heading to federal prison to serve a nearly 8-year sentence for his role in the FTX collapse. But before he went into the slammer, he shared an epic LinkedIn update. His post reading, quote, "I'm happy to share that I'm starting a new position as inmate at FTI Complex." I loved this. It made me kind of laugh. Yeah, he was just embracing it. You know, where the next step is. But I will say this, when I was a kid, my late father was a law enforcement officer, and when I was probably about 8, 9 years old, he took me to a jail. Because he wanted me to make sure I never ended up there. So far, so good. Scared straight. I don't think he's really going to be yucking it up that much when he gets there, but I appreciate the positive attitude from him. Is FCI Cumberland like I think it's one of the nice ones. It has to be, right? I don't know, but I know I had to forfeit $1.5 billion. If he had a harsher sentence than what prosecutors were even asking for, how does this look to the parole board, though? Like, I'd be thinking, what's the parole board going to think if I'm, like, celebrating prison, which sounds like he's doing? Kind of about the parole board and all of this, correct?
Well, here's the deal, okay? He's going to...
Let me see if I can save it here.
They have an array of treatment and work programs. They've got a high staff to inmate ratio, which is good. So he's got 8 years. He'll probably get out in 5.
Here it is. Excellent. I'm going to catch you guys on the next one, all right? Stay tuned. It's going to be good. This is a nice game.
Is in your 30s. Yeah, because it's where you feel the most alive and the most ambitious.